Okay, so we have a John Deere today. It's a 30-year-old mower. It's liquid cooled, and we're just going to do a service on this today. I've already had to replace a voltage regulator. That's up underneath here. So I take the steering wheel apart. I didn't do that on video. I've got videos on how to change voltage regulators. This one's a little bit different looking, but it's still the same thing. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to start the engine up and warm it up. Okay, real quick, I showed you the voltage that we were getting, 14.3 I think it was, which means it's the battery is taking a charge, the voltage regulator is sending out everything it needs to send out. So that is working. Prior to changing it, the battery was at 12.5, and when I started up it was still at 12.5. So that's how you check to see if your voltage regulator is working. Now, in the past, I've showed you voltage regulators on newer mowers. This mower is 30 years old. This is what it looks like. Like I said, it's in the dash. So I warmed the engine up. That does two things. It lets the oil come out quicker. But the most important thing is it stirs up all that junk from the sump on the bottom, so you can get that to come out when you change the oil. So this one's in a tight spot, so I put a piece of cardboard that way the oil can run down into my container. We'll remove the plug. That oil looks brand new. The date on the oil filter, somebody hand wrote the date on it, 6/15/24, so it was changed last year. Okay, so I got some clean oil I'm going to put on the gasket. Now, a lot of people seem to think that helps seal the oil filter to it, but it doesn't. What it does is it makes it so it can slide onto the crankcase, so it doesn't get bound up. Okay, so now we're going to put the plug back in. Alright, so now we're going to put 10W30 oil in it. Now, people will say you need to use zinc oil, some sort of special blend, but today's motor oils are so much better than the old days, so there's no reason to spend all your money. I mean, you can do it if you want. They say that it helps with keeping the valves from wearing down, the lobes on the camshaft, excuse me. But every time somebody says that, what I see is the oil is super dirty. So it had nothing to do with the oil quality, it had to do with the oil maintenance. Some people also say you need to pre-fill the oil filter. You can do that if you want, but I've done a lot of studying on this, and the test results from the studies I've looked at show that for some reason putting the oil or leaving the oil filter dry actually preserves the engine longer. Now, I know it's counterintuitive, but that's what the study showed. Okay, so it's full. So now we're going to start it up to fill the oil filter. Just a bit low. Okay, right on the mark. Okay, not sure I mentioned this, but this is a liquid cooled engine, not an air cooled engine, so we're going to add some antifreeze. It's a little low. Got it a little bit too much, but that's okay. There's plenty of left room. Just a little bit too high. Okay, so we're going to change out the spark plugs. Okay, so let's gap it 30 to 35. You should always thread it in by hand. That way you don't mess up the threads if you got the wrong one or you cross thread it. Okay, now we're going to grease the grease fittings. Started coming out. Okay, there's no grease fittings on the rim. So we'll come over here, do the other side. Yep, nothing on the rim except okay, started coming out. Okay, so now we're going to check the tire pressure. Needs a new valve. Needs a new valve cap. It's important you put valve caps on them that don't have holes in them. That way the dirt doesn't get in there. Then you won't be able to air it up. I've had to replace lots of valves inside the valve stem. Okay, so we won't adjust the valves on this one. This one, from what I can read, has automatic adjustment. It uses hydraulics from the oil to adjust it. Kohler does that, so apparently Kawasaki did it back then. So it's running fine. There's nothing indicating that we have a valve problem. So I'm gonna leave it alone. That way we don't have to get in and buy gaskets and all that. So that's all there is to servicing an old John Deere. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was working on a mower that had the entire charging system fixed. The voltage regulator, the stator, and the flywheel. Similar to this one. So I hope this video helped you work on your equipment under the shade tree. Thanks for watching.